Hey friends, what's happening? This is Dr. Heather here live from Ask Dr. Heather, also known as the Keto Doc. I'm coming to you live from my kitchen. As you are joining in, let us know where you're joining in from. I am here live from Overland Park, Kansas. Getting a lot of questions, a lot of ideas about what to chat about. So if you've got more ideas, what you'd like to chat about, let me know. I'm kind of like up here in this space with lots and lots of topics. So we're going to keep it super simple. We are still on our clean eating days. I need to figure out what day it is today, but we're going to talk about some very simple things to do. I am a mom of four. I remember the days when the kids got out of school, or they had a snow day and I still had to work, or they were out for spring break. And this was, again, before the days of Google, before the days of the internet, and we would do coloring books and puzzles or find things to do. And now it's a little bit different because we do have the internet and things like that. But now we know that the kiddos are going to be home with us for a few more days, and you're trying to figure things out. And as we're on this clean eating phase until April 11th, maybe this is a great time to really hone in. As you do your own health goals, your own optimization, I want to do some more cooking with you in the kitchen. I know I've taken a big break from that, but I do get a lot of responses on eating clean and cooking and why we're eating clean. So as we talk about stress level, we did a big video last week about how stress can actually just really can do a lot of things to your body. We talk about every autoimmune disease is onset by some type of stress response. It can be little stresses that all add up that make the cup overrunneth, that cause an autoimmune response, or the perfect storm that causes an autoimmune response. So when we talk about colds and flus and viruses, how do we weaken our immune system? By having too much stress. So if you're stressed out about your kiddos going back to school, or you're stressed out about what's for dinner, we're going to do a little more focusing in on meal planning, eating healthy foods. You know, our acronym is KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it super simple, folks. So my mom is here. She moved in with us just a few weeks ago. So she is going to actually get back to cooking in the kitchen. She's lived alone a very long time since my sister and I moved out of the house. My dad departed this world when I was 25 due to a motor vehicle accident. So she's lived alone a long time, and now she's moved in with not only 4 grandsons, myself and my husband, but also a dog that she's having lots of fun with. So today I'm teaching her how to, actually she loves broccoli. We're going to broil some broccoli, guys. So this is a thing that I had my mom do. I gave her a pair of scissors. I had her clean and snip the broccoli. Your kiddos can do that too. So kids love to cut things. So, and also we're doing some puzzles. We're doing some origami. So great ideas. Don't do origami with food. So this is how we're doing super simple stuff. We're going to do some broiled broccoli because we know that when you flash heat it, you still keep all the nutrients. And then we're just doing some really, really simple just chicken wings tonight. So you got some good healthy fats in the skin there. We're going to put some oil on our broccoli. I'm going to put some pink Himalayan sea salt on our broccoli now. You know that once you heat up the pink salt, it actually denatures it. So you've got to actually put the pink Himalayan sea salt on afterwards. And then we're going to make a sauce that goes with everything that you ever want to eat that's all natural. It's super clean. You will love it. Your kids will love it. So let me just zoom over to the oven and put these things in. And so again, as you're joining us, let us know where you're joining us from, what you are actually having for dinner. And this is a super easy thing your kids will love. This happens to be, again, I'm back. This happens to be one of the dips that Pam and I love to make. So it's really, really simple. It is actually 2/3 a cup mayo. It is 1/3 a cup Frank's hot sauce, and then it is anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. So very, very simple to make. You can actually, if you like it more hot and spicy, you can put sriracha in there. Some people like to put a little bit of jalapeno juice in there. You put some cayenne pepper. If you like it more salty, you could do that as well. So I probably should have, before I got online, I should have got a little backup of mayo here, but you simply do 2/3 cup. So 2-to-1 ratio, 2/3 cup of mayo, 1/3 cup of Frank's, but if you don't like it too hot, don't do as much Frank, and lime juice. This goes great on your chicken wing. It goes great on your meatballs. It goes great on celery. Your kids love to dip. So we started talking about all natural food. When you look at things like ranch dressing or other types of dressing, it has a ton of stuff in it, especially if you're trying to ditch the dairy. We know right now it's kind of this, I would say, the allergy season here in the Midwest, even if we don't don't talk about the virus. We can talk about it being cold and flu season, not really that kind of season, but really allergy season here in the Midwest. So when you talk about mold in Kansas, everybody pretty much knows what you're talking about. So when you have a mold sensitivity or a mold allergy, hello Justin, thanks for joining me. Hey Penny, thanks for joining me. When you know that you're sensitive to mold in the air, then what you don't want to do is you don't want to put moldy food in your body. Molds come in things like cheeses. My mom's like, what? I'm like, yeah, cheeses are always moldy. Vinegars are moldy. Things like that. Ranch has vinegar in it. It's moldy. Moldy foods. Kombucha is moldy. Sauerkraut is moldy. If you're sensitive when you breathe it in, the minute you put it in your body, you're just going to further feed that. If you're taking a probiotic, it could be the wrong one for your body. It could also further feed the mold as well. But again, we're talking about fun things to do with your kids. Hey, Dr. Jamie, thanks for joining me. So you can do lots of fun stuff. So I don't want you to stress about what to do with the kiddos. I loved cooking with your kids, and when your kids actually start cooking with you, and it can be actually older kids. My youngest is 17, and we were doing a puzzle the other day. We're actually talking about a graduation party. My mom and I started a puzzle. Who finished the puzzle? They kind of kicked my mom out, and we saw the 22-year-old, the 17-year-old, and the 18-year-old all took over our puzzle. Kids love to do stuff like that, but they love to do cooking as well. So we actually started assigning some cooking nights or watching some cooking shows. Our freezer's pretty stocked because we buy local meat, so we do have some local meat already stocked up before this, but they love preparing food. So let your kiddos help you. If they're 2 or 3, let them wash the celery, let them do things. You can do ants on a log, where you can take some celery, you could take some sun butter, almond butter, something like that, and you can stuff it with your favorite kind of nut butter in there. Ants on a log can be little raisins, it could be pecans, it could be pistachios, fun things like that. But again, the sauce that I wanted to make that is one of the favorites around here around the Cardi household, I'm trying to keep my mayo quiet, is again 2/3 cup mayo. And again, this goes with just about everything. And if you have an egg allergy, just get the mayo that doesn't have any egg in it. An egg is one of the top allergens. So if you think you're sensitive to eggs, you can always test it with blood. You can always just stop eating them for a week or so and then have a nice big serving of eggs and see if you don't get stuffy or if you don't get some gas or bloating. It's a great way to tell. Eggs are actually also loaded with sulfur. That's the yellow part. So if you know that you have a sensitivity to sulfur, like your doctor said, hey, you took Bactrim DS or some type of antibiotic that had sulfur, and you found out that you had a sulfur allergy, then sulfur is in eggs, it's in garlic, it's in yellow onions, it's in some other foods. So it might be a time, especially during allergy season, to kind of cut some of those things out. So it's a great time also to practice some of that self-hygiene we talked about the other day, like saline rinsing is a great way to also clean that out. Getting a new toothbrush, so that's something we went through the other day. We kind of cleaned everybody's toothbrush cups out. So it is 2/3 cup mayo, and get the real mayo, not Miracle Whip that has a bunch of sugar. You want to put, again, however much Frank's hot sauce that you like. You could also do a tomatillo sauce if you like that. So we do 2/3 cup to 1/3 cup Frank's sauce. Again, this is great with veggies. It's great with, we're going to use it not on our broccoli tonight. We're going to use it on our wings tonight. Half my family likes everything as hot as they can take it. But again, heat is actually really good. Hot foods are thermogenic. They not only clean out your sinuses this time of year, they also, if you have a subacute thyroid issue, thermogenic means it increases your basal metabolic rate. So 1/3 cup of our Frank's hot sauce. And then I always like to use fresh limes when I can. So if you, depending on how kind of limey you like it, anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. We're just going to squeeze it in there, and then you're going to whisk it. It stays well in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 weeks. But again, this is something your kids can do. They can squeeze limes. They can squeeze lemons. They like to measure out things. So this is a great time to have a cooking block for your kids throughout the day as you're kind of trying to figure out what you're going to do with the kiddos, as the teachers are trying to figure out what you're going to do. And I know, again, when my kids were little, we did not have an internet. Things were just getting rolling back in the late 90s. I am dating myself. And again, we like things limey here. So this is also great on fish. Tomorrow night we're going to be having coconut shrimp. I'll share that recipe, but this is great on shrimp. It's great on fish. Again, meatballs, any vegetables. It's just a great little nice kind of natural. It's not too much bang. And again, then we just whisk it full. And again, you can put a pinch of sea salt in that if you like. But again, it saves well in the refrigerator and it's super easy to eat. So I want to talk a little bit more about stress. For me, cooking actually takes a lot of stress out. I love to cook. I actually like to wash dishes. My mom's over there kind of smiling. If you like to wash dishes, put like a big high 5, high 10 down there. I don't know, something about just cleaning cleaning up the kitchen, cleaning out the cabinets, cleaning out the countertops. It's just kind of therapeutic as you actually start cleaning things out. I used to always clean my room before I actually take a test. I like trying new recipes too, but this is, again, it's kind of a fun time when you're trying to think, what do I do? I've got a lot of things to do. I don't have extra time on my hands, but I do have extra time on my hands. Again, I'm gonna put a little dash of pink Himalayan sea salt in there. Again, if you want to make it hot and spicy, you could also put a little bit of cumin pepper in there if you want to, cayenne pepper, some red chili pepper. Again, we're going to use that on our wings tonight. We're going to save some for our fish tomorrow night. But I wanted to just bring some nice little cooking tips I am going to make tomorrow, so stay tuned for your kiddos. This was in my cupboard, and you guys probably already know what I think about that, red Jell-O. But we're actually going to make some keto Jell-O jigglers tomorrow. I thought I had some Knox gelatin in my cabinet tonight or some other collagen. I don't. So I'm going to make some Jell-O jigglers tomorrow, which are fun. And this can be great this time of year because this is the real topic. When people are bored, they get hangry. They can get hangry at their kids because maybe their kids aren't behaving because they're not used to being around them 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or maybe it's their spouses, or maybe it's yourself. Maybe you're just trying to find yourself a new level of organization. I'm getting texts from friends like, oh my gosh, my husband's now working from home. My daughter's now not working. Now my other son is home from school. What are you going to do with the kids? They're high school age. It's kind of hard to get them to sit down and do a math workbook. So lots of things, lots of emotions going on. But what a lot of people have said, which I think really rings home, how we respond as parents or grandparents or as caretakers, how we respond to this situation that's going on is what our kids are going to remember the most. Are they going to remember a panic, kind of mean parent, kind of hangry parent? Are they going to remember that, oh my gosh, my mom, my grandparents, my caretakers, they were super adaptable. We were gardening, we were doing puzzles, we were doing origami. I learned to make the best family recipes during that time. I learned how to refinish a table at this time. We actually did some car work, because I have 4 boys. My youngest son's got his car in the shop doing something. Maybe he remembers this is the time that him and his dad redid some stuff and put some LED lights around his car when he was 17, even though the graduation is probably not going to happen. Like, the memories that you make during this time can either be super positive and can be ingrained, or it can be something that actually turns negative. So we have the power to make that happen. And that's actually, I think, really exciting and really powerful. So with my mom being here, it's a time that we're going to actually, I'm with Kaylin. I can't wait to garden either. Sidebar, I just took my puppy outside and it was really hard for me not to start pulling things out because I think we're still going to have a little bit more frost, and the kids told me it's going to start raining tomorrow. But I'm like you, I can't wait to start gardening, and that's actually great stress reliever. I'll post that post again. Sidebar, but there's a thermoscan of our body that when you stand in the ground barefooted, your hands in the ground, or you just sit on the ground like you're sitting on your bottom with shorts on, your legs touch the ground, grounding actually calms your nervous system down. So it's a great time to get outside and play with the kiddos, or you just actually sit on the ground and start pulling some weeds or get grounding. And that is 15 minutes to 2 hours. It's so great for your body to get that grounding experience to happen. And it's so simple. Just go outside. It's also a great way to keep your house clean. But know that kids love to do that stuff. They like to clean with you. They like to cook with you. And I think oftentimes, because I am a mom of 4, I can say I'm a seasoned mom now. And I've had a lot of friends who have kids of 1 or 2 or 3, or some not with, that don't always enjoy cooking with their kids and think that their kids are going to make a bigger mess. But really what can happen, and I was taught from another friend of mine, that when your kids love to learn to do the things with you, they take that with them forever. So I was going to go back to this whole thing about, I've had a patient in the other day, like she's worried about gaining weight back during this time because she's worried that, oh my gosh, I'm going to start snacking again. The kids are home, and she's worried about her stress being high and her snacking. And I said, well, don't buy anything that's going to tempt you. Like, don't put the chips back in. She's like, well, my kids are home, I have to buy chips. I'm like, you don't have to buy chips because the kids are in. Kids like to eat celery and sun butter. Kids like to eat, get some Skinny Pop if you want to have something, or do some fun stuff with vegetables. You can do a whole bunch of fun stuff making vegetable art. You can go online, it's economical, go to Aldi's and get some vegetables and start doing some art carving out of vegetables or out of cauliflower or cucumbers or some fruit, and do something fun with them, because it can be so much fun to see what you can create. Or start doing some painting, start painting some rocks. My mom is saying something. What are you saying?
I did that with you and watermelons.
My mom's saying she did that with me. She used to carve watermelons for birthday parties and things like that. And I know that painting rocks is a new thing that's coming back into play for all ages, just like the coloring books are coming back into play. But find something, maybe something I said like, oh my gosh, I'd like to do that. Or, oh my gosh, that sounds like fun. So just start making a little bit of something that sounds like You know what? That sounds like something that would be fun for us to do, or fun for you and your spouse to do, because I do have a lot of people who've really found like a new health. They've really been energized by what's happened the last couple months in their life. They've found some fat has fallen off. They've gotten a new relationship with food, and they're a little afraid that that relationship with food is going to just go back to what it used to be last winter. It doesn't have to be that way. It's gorgeous outside. I'm going to tell you, journal your journey, write down your thoughts, organize your dinners, and I'm going to be better about coming on live. Sometimes I think people don't want to hear from me, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to come on live and tell you what we're having here, because sometimes it's just super simple stuff. Yesterday we just had gyro meat and we had cabbage salad, and we just put it right on top of there. I mean, it's really simple. We had tacos last night for dinner. Yep, we had tacos last night for dinner. I'm thinking what we had the night before. I know tomorrow we're going to have salmon, and we're going to have shrimp. I have 2 kids that have a shrimp allergy, so they won't have shrimp. They'll have salmon, and then my mom doesn't like shrimp either, so she'll have probably have salmon too. So trying to feed 6 people, everyone's not happy, but also it's also nice to kind of have taste of both worlds. So we're going to do some meal planning together, because I don't think this is over in just a couple days. I think people ask for that, because when you can meal plan, that way you set your goals. Dr. Ralph's going to come on and do some more fitness stuff, because I know it's hard. I'm a person who loves to go to the gym. I know my yoga studio has closed, so I'm going to ask some other fitness people, borrow some of their activities that they're doing. I know my mom goes to cardiac rehab 3 times a week. They have actually closed as well, so we're going to help her do some stuff. So if you know anybody who's over 69, my mom's a couple years over 69, who wants to do some activity, maybe you can help them figure out Facebook. And my mom's and I are going to do some exercise routine through that. As you guys know, I haven't had my ampuversary yet, which means your anniversary of amputation, which will be April 2nd for me. So I am 6 years post accident, but not a year post amputation. So I'm going to actually help some other people who are just starting their journey on walking and getting out and doing things, do some more exercising around that. Mike is up in Canada, and it's cold out there. Oh my gosh, it's minus 20 Celsius. So it's beautiful here in Kansas for the first time. It's humid, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow. But anyway, you can always do things inside your house. I remember when my kids were little, I used to go up the stairs and have him throw balls of socks down the stairs into a laundry basket, and I'd frog hop up down the stairs, or frog hop up the stairs to do that. So again, there's lots of ways to exercise. Turn the music on. You can do hopscotch inside. You can play with your animals or dogs inside. But today, I wanted to let you know that when you have that moment where you start to feel hangry, what I want you to do, because I had somebody tell me this, they lost 8 pounds last week. They were proud of themselves. They ditched the diet Dr. Pepper, and then they had a moment where they had an oops moment, and they fell off the healthy wagon. So what I want you to do, if that's happening to you, you're falling off the oops wagon, you have one Oreo and it leads to the whole row of Oreos, or you have one donut and it leaves the whole thing of donuts. Before you put it in your mouth, I want you to write it down. I want you to write down 5 Oreos, or I want you to write down a whole bag of popcorn. I want you to write down the whole thing of Twisters. When you write it down before you eat it, it makes you write a moment to go, do I really want to do that? Or I want you to do this, and I want you to go brush your teeth before you go eat that whole roll of Oreos, or before you eat the whole ice cream. And think about that. Like, is it really worth your health? Is it really going to taste great for 20 minutes? I know when I would say that, like, I don't have an hour to go work that off at the gym before I go eat 20 Oreos. Like, if you write it down, if you think about it for a minute, and you bring that to the forward part of your brain, I know that Mel Robbins talks about this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The limbic system is the emotional part. The frontal brain is the analytical part. The minute you made it analytical, thinking like you get overthinking it, yes, overthinking it. When you bring it to the frontal part of your brain, the analytical part, thinking, the kids can't make me eat a roll of Oreos. The kids can't make me eat a Dr. Pepper. Like, that's not true. I'm in control of me. I can do that. Or I don't have an hour because now the gym is closed to go get on the treadmill and exercise off a whole roll of Oreos, or a whole bag of donut holes, or a whole thing of whatever, a whole pizza. Then you know that you need to do that. So don't overbuy like prefab food, don't overbuy mozzarella sticks. Like, your kids can't make you buy this. And this is what patients will tell me, I probably reiterate it, we are the dictator of our table. So if you say, well, my kids are home, they want to have the mozzarella sticks, they want to have the pizza bites, they need the bagel bites. Children are they are the highest population for getting type 2 diabetes. Children are the highest population. They are the only population who are not going to outlive their generation. That means my children, that possibly means your children. I am 50, almost 53, born in the 80s. So if you're an 80s lady or an 80s male, that means that your children are not going to outlive our generation for the first time. So if we're expected to live to 83, that means for the first time our children are not supposed to live to our our life expectancy. But we can change that around. We can have them cutting out the garbage, cutting out the carbohydrate, get them out and exercising. Please don't use your electric games as your new babysitter, or your new stress relief. Please get them out and playing fun. Somebody else said they had a great idea. They went and adopted a pet because that was how they were going to actually help their kids, find a new norm in this next few weeks until school is out, which I think is a great idea. You can do a lot of dog training videos online. You can, or cat training videos or things like that, which I thought was a great idea to go adopt a pet. But anyway, my thing is just turn it upside down, turn the frown upside down, turn the situation upside down. I want to keep giving you ideas. I'm always trying to look for new ideas. So if you have some, please share them with me. I want to share them with everybody out, and share this video. Sharing is caring, and this is all about caring and making a community one that actually calms the stress down, help everybody learn from everybody else, and make life much easier than it has been. I know the stress level's up here, but we need to calm that down, because again, if you've worked really hard in your lifestyle, we don't want to actually accelerate that or accelerate the aging process. We want to keep things positive. We want to keep the smile up, right? We don't want to turn it upside down and turn it into a frown. And we want to keep our bodies moving forward. That means keeping forward with motion, keeping forward with movement. And so I'm going to say to that, because I think my Dr. Ralph is home, and I'm going to turn my broccoli now, because I think it's probably getting a little burnt, and I love burnt broccoli anyway. It gives a little crunch to it. You guys have an amazing day. Let me know what you're having for dinner. If you've got a better idea or something you'd like to more talk about, because with the information, people are like, what am I supposed to do now that the kids are home? What am I supposed to do now that I can't go to the grocery store every single day for fresh food? What am I supposed to do now that I can't order? So what you do now is you do what you've always been doing. Do a little more planning 3 or 4 days out in advance. So you're only going to the store once a week. Only buy the quantity that you need for that dinner, and then maybe go ahead and buy the second week out and put it in the freezer. And then buy fun things for your kids to do. You can buy books online that are kids food art that are so fun to do. Again, don't let them carving tools, but fun things for kids to do at all ages. And again, you won't be sorry. It'll be super fun. When kids love the food that they're cutting and they're cooking with, they're going to be more enjoyable to do that. When my kids were little and they didn't like vegetables very well, we used to put all the vegetables in a baseball cap, and we would pull out the vegetable and we would put it on the food chart. I think if I actually show you over here, this right here is still the same menu board, the days of the week, and we put down who's doing what and what our menu is for each and every day and what the activities are. So this is the same board that we've had for almost 20 years. So we still put our menu up there at kids' activities. Oh, Dr. Ralph walked in.
20.
20 years we've had that board. The same hockey tape is on there that's been on there. But we use that, and that's why the kids know what we're having. My mom's learning that's where the kids put their activity, who's working, who's not going to be eating dinner here, what we are having for dinner. Somebody asked me 3 or 4 videos ago if this is a bread basket. This is our doggy treat basket. And if I were to point it there, you would see her come over right away. So anyway, this is Dr. Heather coming to you live from Overland Park, Kansas, having you guys have an amazing day. Mike is having a little bit of ice cream before I would. Okay. Anyway, Mike is having red cabbage and meatballs. That sounds absolutely amazing. So you enjoy your red cabbage in your cold, cold land up there in Saskatchewan, Mike. And I will enjoy the nice warm weather here in Kansas. And I've got to turn my my chicken wings, and I've got to turn my broccoli, and I'm going to enjoy my lovely sauce that I made here. And you guys have a great day, and we'll be seeing you soon.